Would you believe me if I said I've been procrastinating making a video because I was waiting for this microphone? Told you I was going to try and up the quality of these videos, and I was really tired of that built-in microphone with Apple headphones. I think it kind of sucks. And of course the built-in one in the phone is even worse, and ones in cameras aren't much better. So this is the next best thing. This is like $15 on Amazon. So that's cool. But anyways, what's new? Not a whole lot, school-wise at least. I just feel like I'm constantly playing catch-up with math because luckily I'm able to do my homework in a group, because otherwise I would be totally lost most of the time. Getting help from peers and classmates is cool, but I spend so much time doing that because I feel like I have to do that first because that's on a deadline, right? I have to turn it in, I get graded on it. And then I have to go back to that same section or previous sections, depending on how far behind I am, and create my notes, which I've made a video about before, which takes a lot of time to do well, at least well enough to be, beneficial for studying, for exams and stuff. It takes a long time, and I have to do that for every single section and chapter, and when I have to deal with a crappy textbook and minimal online resources, it's just very frustrating. So more than anything, that's what I'm usually procrastinating on and putting off, because I know it's going to take me a long time. And I'm finding that I have to do similar things, to a lesser degree, but similar things with vector calc, because my professor goes way in depth, like way more in depth than necessary. But the upside to vector calc is I get a cheat sheet, thank God, because I'm going to be honest with you, it's been so long since I've dealt with integrals and derivatives that I've forgotten a lot of them, especially the trig derivatives and integrals. And I get to put whatever I want on that cheat sheet, front and back, which is amazing. Which is really nice for someone like me who gets a lot of test anxiety, and I blank out a lot. Speaking of anxiety, for almost a month now I've been seeing a psychologist at the VA, because all of my healthcare is through the VA. And I talked to her about getting medication, and she, suggested it. So she talked to the psychiatrist, who's obviously the one who has to be the one to prescribe it or whatever. And so I've been doing that. I got prescribed Zoloft, or the generic version of Zoloft. And I've been on that for not quite a week. Today was the 5th day of that. I haven't noticed any difference yet. At least nothing that stands out to me. I've had some side effects, that was to be expected, but they're not dramatic or extreme or debilitating or anything like that, so that's all right. But anyhow, yeah, if you feel like it's totally unrelated, but I feel like it's just as important. If you feel like you could benefit from talking to a psychologist or a psychiatrist or getting prescribed something to help with your mental state, then you probably would, and you're definitely worth it. I know a lot of people, there's like a lot of stigma around getting help with mental issues, mental illness and stuff like that, and people don't want to be that person, but you're definitely worth it. There's no reason you should have to live with it without help if you don't have to, But anyways, so I have my next abstract algebra exam 2 weeks from yesterday, so 13 days. At the very least now I know what to expect as far as format goes. I didn't struggle for time. That's been a big problem with me in the past, is having enough time, but luckily, since a lot of the problems that it gives are computational rather than theoretical or proving things or stuff like that, it's just you either know it and you don't, or you don't. So if you know it, it takes just a second to do, and then you move on to the next one. So I'm appreciative of that, if nothing else. And my professor I guess he took some advice from those mid-course reviews he asked for, and he's been doing some lecture, like 15 minutes a day, which is infinitely better than none, so I'm glad for that. I do still plan on making a video on group theory. I know I promised that this weekend or maybe last weekend. Should really stop making promises for videos because I'm terrible at keeping them. But I am working on that. That's going to require a bit of a script, which I have to fine-tune and tweak to some degree, and then obviously coming up with supporting stuff like visuals or whatever. However I decide to do that, it'll probably be very similar to what I did for linear transformations. If you haven't seen that video, if you have seen that video, if you haven't, maybe watch it, and then you'll know whether or not you like my style. But yes, that is coming. I don't know if I can make that happen this weekend, maybe, but I'm gonna shy away from the promises this time. Yeah, otherwise things are going slowly but surely. I feel like I don't know, I wouldn't say that I'm getting used to group theory and abstract algebra, but I'm getting used to dealing with it, if that makes sense, and how I need to go about understanding things and finding resources in order to understand things and stuff like that. So that's half the battle, right? Anyhow, that's all I got. We'll see you next time.